And Barry Rivera going to jump ball. Jump taken by Ellie Callahan, and we're off and running. Man-to-man defense. First set down for Oglethorpe. Lee going to drive across. Elder doing a good job there. We're going to get a head fake and a drive in, and we're going to get a foul underneath, it looks like, on Havica. Hope that number 15, Ellie Gearing, is okay. Drove in, kind of landed hard right on the tailbone area. But she's going to be rewarded with a couple of free throws, and rightly so. Havica hit her down low. First free throw. Going to be up and good. Ice is broken, 1-0 Vikings. Remember, women's college basketball, there is 5 fouls per quarter before you get in the bonus. The 5th foul puts you in the bonus. After that, there is no 1-and-1. It is just 2 shots. Fouls reset after every quarter. We play 4 10-minute quarters here. And Barry going to come out in man-to-man. It'll be interesting to see if early on, and Oglethorpe immediately goes down to Rivera, who kicks it back out, melting around. Hoffman from downtown, that's going to be off the mark and no good, and Barry going to come up with a rebound. And Callahan going to push it the other way, and that ball's going to be stolen by Hoffman in the backcourt. She's going to go coast to coast for the layup, and we're tied at 2 apiece. Oglethorpe immediately going to come back in some token man-to-man pressure, picking up in the backcourt. Jaren Jarrett, the freshman, going to bring the ball across, and she's being hounded by another freshman in Allison Hoffman. Nice pass underneath. Rivera plays defense. 3-ball from the corner. That's up. And pure Sarah Wright from downtown, able to knock that one in, and Barry off to a 5-2 lead. Oglethorpe has a little bit of the size advantage here. As you see right now, they're almost doubling Kamaria Rivera as soon as she gets the ball, and they come in, and they're going to get a jump ball situation. As Ellie Callahan, at 6 foot tall, reached in and just snatched that out of the hands of Kamaria. But jump ball, possession arrow goes to Oglethorpe. Elder going to take it underneath. Layup up and good from Aaliyah Melton. Five to 4 the score, 8:15 to go here in the first period. 3-ball on the way, and that's going to be pure. Nothing but string music for Jaren Jarrett. Kind of had the little hesitation step, dribbled back, and knocked down a 3 with confidence. And early on, Barry really extending the defense. Hoffman going to drive in. Rivera gets it at the elbow, misses that jumper, and it's going to go off of Hoffman and out of bounds. Early 8-4 lead right now for Barry. Havica going to be called for a foul. She reached in, swatted away Kennedy Lee, who gives you 18 points a game. Had Mia kind of reaching at that point. 8-4 your score. Lee going to drive in, and that's going to be a 3rd foul in the first 2.5 minutes on Oglethorpe. This one's going to be on Malia Melton. Callahan's free throw up, and that's going to roll around and no good. Ellie went to Gilmer County High School. 2nd free throw no good, and Mia Havica flies in for the rebound. Elder from downtown, and that's going to be, comes up short. Rebounded by Rivera, and that's what she does best. 8-6 to score. Offensive putback for Kamaria Rivera. And they're going to get a double dribble called there on Lee. Hoffman drives in. Elder from downtown. That three is pure, and that's what Briley Elder does best. Knocking down threes. Done a good job of that all season long. And that ball's going to be an over and back, and it's going to be ball side out for Oglethorpe. Elder's somebody who can flat out shoot the rock. On the season, 50% from downtown. She's 17 of 34. Inserted into the lineup because Gabby Hudson dealing with injury. Elder brings a different aspect. And a good defense on Kamaria Rivera. Barry just going to double down pretty much every time. Drive in, Kennedy Lee going to be off the mark, and Rivera snatches that rebound away, kicks it ahead to Havica, who's going to set the offense, and Hoffman now over in the corner. They look immediately to Rivera. She's going to be called for a travel, and that was an immediate double team. So you had 15, Ellie Gearing, and then an immediate double team, it looked like, by number 1, Ellie Callahan. And as soon as Kamaria tried to spin back, had the ball come off the mark, Jessica Tano's going to check in. You're going to have Anna Kanza, and also checking in as well. It's going to be Carly Bell, and they're going to call a line violation. That was not a run-the-back scenario for Barry, and they decided to run the baseline and could not get that done. It's a turnover, a 9-8 lead for your Stormy Petrels. Oglethorpe's gone small. Basically now you would have Malia Melton at the 5. Good defense there by number 13, Jaron Jarrett, who pokes that away from Gaetanos. Gaetanos makes Jarrett fall down. Crowd cheering for that. Elder from downtown. That's going to come up just short. Elder now 1 of 3 from downtown. Barry brings a nice crowd here. You see a lot of the men's team sitting off to the side, getting ready for the men's action afterwards. That ball poked away by Kanza. Bell going to get down in the defensive stance. Oglethorpe staying man-to-man, switching really everything. And they're going to drive in. The layup's going to be no good. And Malia Melton going to sky and bring that one out of there. Kick it across, and Kanza going to bring it over. The lefty, she dribbles and hands it off to Gaetanos. She's being hounded by Jarrett. Bell with it on the wing. And that's going to be a turnover taken the other way. Callahan with it. She's going to pass it off the layup. Going to be off the mark and no good by Kennedy Lee, who had an uncontested layup. Gaetano's going to swing around. Bell from downtown, and that's going to be a money ball from the corner pocket for Carly Bell. Great job there by Jessica Tanos, driving baseline, kicking to the corner. Carly Bell locked and loaded, knocks in a 3, and it's 12-8 Oglethorpe. We're going to get a foul on Malia Melton, and that's going to be her second. Kamaria Rivera set the check back in anyway. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. We'll take one with them. It's 12-8, 4:40 to go here in the first period on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. We're back here on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. Oglethorpe on a nice run here, 7-0 kick to take a 12-8 lead over the Vikings of Barry. And we're going to get a foul called on Ellie Gearing. She literally took the chicken wing and just shoved Carly Bell out of bounds. And that's going to be ball going the other way. First team foul for Barry. Gitanos, Kanza, Bell, Rivera, and Elder in the game. Backdoor cut for Gitano. She's going to kick it across to Elder. Elder head fakes and drives in. And they're going to get a blocking foul called underneath on number 12, Sarah Wright. Second team, they're going to call that a shooting foul. I thought maybe they were going to get Elder on the floor. Do not have that happening. Briley will go to the line with a chance to shoot two. The series has been very close. Free throw up and good between Barry and Oglethorpe. Barry leads the all-time series 13-12 since 2010. Last year, Barry won here 64-63. Their coach was an assistant coach on the men's team from 2017 to 2021. Also coached at East Tennessee from 2010 to 2013. And Oglethorpe going to pick up full man-to-man. Have Hoffman check back in and Havica. Kanza, she's going to get called for the bump, and that's going to be free throws coming up for Barry as we go into the bonus scenario. Kennedy Lee going to go to the line now with a chance to shoot some free throws. We'll keep you updated throughout what's going on in the SEC championship game between the Dogs and the Crimson Tide. That game obviously in downtown Atlanta as well. Busy time right here in the A. Second free throw up, and that's going to rattle in, and it's 14-10 in favor of Oglethorpe. Hoffman going to bring it across. Jarrett hounding on defense. Rivera at the head of the key. Elder going to head fake and blow by and get fouled again, and she's going to be rewarded with free throws. So what's happened right now is Briley Elder's knocked down a couple of threes, and every time she head fakes, the defenders are running past her. She's able to drive in and get to the line for some free throw opportunities. First free throw good. One of the better shooters that I've ever seen at Oglethorpe. I know it's only been a year and a half, but this young woman does not miss much. Ball comes off her hand, very pure. Second free throw up, and again, the announcer's jinx is what we're really good at. Announcer's jinx missed the free throw. 15-10 though the score. Kick to the corner. That's going to be a three on the way off the back rim, and Kamaria Rivera comes in and skies for that one. 3:49 to go. And that's going to be a turnover off of Kanza. Lauren Ellard going to sub in. Checking out is Ellie Gearing. Oglethorpe staying man-to-man. Open three for Jarrett. It's going to be off the mark. Havica going to come up with the rebound. She's going to bring it back the other way. And Havica's going to come up with a travel. Elder was screaming for the ball, and she was kind of in between should she pass or should she not. (15-10), 3:21 to go here in the first period. Oglethorpe overcame an 8-4 kick by Barry to start the game. That's going to be a pull-up jumper off the window and good. Really nicely done by Sarah Wright. Took the down screen, dribbled off, and then just got to the window a la Tim Duncan and banked that one in for a nice basket. Jarrett really sits down defensively. Kat Johnson, and they try to go high-low. She has that one knocked away by Sarah Wright, and Barry going to come the other way. On the break, defense to get back for Oglethorpe. Three ball on the way, and that's going to be off the mark, and they'll go to Kamaria Rivera. What a box out. She literally just took the Barry defender and moved her out of the way. Hoffman going to drive in. Kanza back outside from downtown. That three is going to be off the mark. Johnson going to save it. Probably should not have saved that one, as that's going to lead to a fast break for Barry and a layup, and it's going to be off the mark and no good for Lauren Elder. Johnson with it now. And Coach Ritchie not happy. He's going to tell his group, look, we need to slow down. This is not what we want to have right now. You don't want to be at this pace. Going to want to be going a little bit slower. Back-to-back turnovers for Oglethorpe. 3 ball on the way. That's going to be up and off the back rim. Battle for it, taken by who else? Kamaria Rivera, who comes flying in for another rebound. Kamaria on the game, 5 rebounds already in 7.5 minutes of action. Kanza from downtown, that's going to be off the mark and no good, and that ball's going to skip out of bounds. Back-to-back threes for Kanza, just a little bit long. Gatanos and Bell going to check back in. Hoffman and Kanza going to check out. Coach Ritchie going to call the troops back and pick up at half court. Gatanos and Jarrett have been going at it so far here in the first period. Three ball on the way. That's going to be off the mark, but they're going to get a foul called on Johnson, and that's going to be 3 shots. She tried to close out. Callahan missed the 3, but was absolutely fouled by Johnson, and she'll be rewarded with 3 free throws with a chance to come up and tie this ball game. First free throw up and good. Sarah Wright leading the way. She has 5. Briley Elder with 6 for the Stormy Petrels. Second free throw up and good. Callahan gives you 15.3 points a game and 6.3 rebounds. Third free throw up, that's going to be just off the front iron, and Johnson comes in and grabs the rebound. Oglethorpe right now with a 15-14 lead. Barry has gone on a little run. Havica with it. They've got now Rivera up on the top of the key. Gatanos 3. She thought she got fouled. She got knocked to the ground, but no call. Jess arguing with anybody that'll listen. She got knocked down on the deck as soon as that shot was up. Ball going to be taken underneath. Jump hook up and good from Callahan. She got really good deep position right down inside the painted area. And once she got in there, nice little jump hook over the left shoulder. And Barry now has gone on a nice 7-0 run. Oglethorpe going to get the ball to Rivera. Jumper coming up and dropping that one in. Kamaria Rivera. When in doubt, go to number 20 and see if you can get a basket, and that's exactly what the Petrels did right there. Gatanos hounding Carly Armstrong up at the top. That shot going to be off the mark. Lee, and that shot's going to be thrown out of there by Kat Johnson. My goodness. Callahan had a nice opportunity right inside and missed, and Johnson made sure that there was going to be no offensive putback. She slammed that one off the side wall. 17-16 Stormy Petrels. Ball taken in the back by Ellard. Wisely did not touch it before it went into the backcourt. You're able to retrieve it there. 12 on the shot clock, 21 on the game clock. And they're going to call an offensive foul on Carly Armstrong. She drove in and ran Anna Kanza over. Kanza stood in there. Thought they were going to call the reach around on Hoffman. But referee right now having to do a little mop-up time. So far in the first quarter, game very even played. Barry actually only shooting 28% from the floor. They've missed a couple of bunnies. Oglethorpe shooting 46%. Difference is Barry's got 6 free throws to just 3 for Oglethorpe. Both teams struggling from the three-point line. Barry 2 of 6. Oglethorpe 2 for 8. Gatanos going to bring it up and look for the last shot. 10 to go on the game clock here in the first period. 17-16. It's going to get a high screen from Rivera, drive in and have that one stripped away. 2-1. We're going to have a pull-up jumper, and it's going to be no good. Ava Travis had a chance to give them the lead, but she could not. End of the first period in the SAA opener between Oglethorpe and Berry. It's 17-16 in favor of the Stormy Petrels on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. And we're back on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. Riley Elder's checked back in. It's Havica, Rivera, Elder, Kanza, and Hoffman for the Stormy Petrels. Barry's going to counter with Armstrong, Wright. Looks like you also have Ellard, Lee, and you're going to have number 14, Travis. Turnover there. Ellard drove in, tried to kick it to the corner, and that ball went out of bounds. Oglethorpe being led so far by Briley Elder, leading the way with 6. Carly Bell with 4. Melton 3. Rivera really hasn't got on track offensively. But after we saw what she did last game, she went 1 of 10 in the first half and then finished with a double-double. Elder from downtown, they're going to call it travel. She absolutely shuffled the feet. Kind of did the 1-2 step over there in the corner. Got to get the puppy set. First time I've seen Briley have that turnover. Havica playing some really aggressive defense. Rivera with the shot block. Havica with the shot block. That's going to go out of bounds. So back-to-back shot blocks there for Oglethorpe. 17-16 your score. Inbound pass going to be knocked away, and Havica comes up with the steal, and then she gets tackled. Kirby Smart would be really proud of that one. A good tackle in the open field by number 3, Kennedy Lee. If you're so inclined, Georgia leading Alabama 7-0 in the first period in downtown Atlanta in the SEC championship game. Alabama with the rock. Georgia wins. They will be the 1 seed in the college football playoffs. University of Washington has already secured their spot. Texas giving you something to think about as they're the Big 12 champions. They blow out Oklahoma State today. And then the 2 night games could determine who the other 2 spots are going to be, as Michigan plays Iowa and then Florida State up in Charlotte taking on Louisville. Hoffman going to bring it across. Kicks it to Havica. Straight man-to-man, but Barry is doubling immediately. Elder from downtown, and I tell you, if you let her get the puppy set, that's going in. Double teamed on Kamaria Rivera, and she made him pay, kicked it back out to Briley Elder with the straightaway 3. And I told you, when she gets her feet set, that ball doesn't really hit much of anything. Elder tried to come up with a steal, almost did, and Havica jumps in the passing lane and gets the steal. Kicks it to Elder. Elder drives in, and we're going to call a blocking foul there underneath on Lee. I believe that's going to be the 3rd team foul. 2nd team foul. Coming back in is going to be number 13, Jaron Jarrett. Also checking back in, number 1, Ellie Callahan. Callahan is now matched up with Elder. And I'm sure Thomas Johnson has said, okay, let's not leave 22 open anymore. Briley's got 3 threes now in the first. I'm sorry, she's got 2 threes and then 3 free throws. 3 of 4 from the line. Havica. She's going to take a step-back 3, and just saw that look dead on from my angle. Just hit the back of the rim. And it's 20-16 in favor of your Stormy Petrels. A little bit of a mismatch here. Havica underneath to Ellard. Ellard has that one knocked away, though. Callahan has it, and they're going to have to reset the offense with 12, and that's going to be another turnover. They're actually going to call an offensive foul now. Might have worked out better for the Vikings because that was about to be a 3-on-2 fast break. But they're going to get a foul on number 25, Carly Armstrong. Bell going to check back in. Good job by Mia Havica on the defensive end. Hoffman going to bring it across. Allison's done a really good job as a true freshman running this ball club. We're going to get an offensive foul on Rivera, and Camaria's going, what did I do? Alex Ritchie grabbing the head. That's number 2 on Camaria. Camaria's going, what did I do? And it was the offside official, not even the official right in front. It was the official over here who was blocked by the action. Very emphatically called the offensive foul, and now Camaria is going to have to sit with 2. We'll write that down with 7:47 to go here in the second period. Oglethorpe's up 4. That's going to be a turnover. Elder gets it. And we're going to get a jump ball scenario. Possession arrow going to go to Oglethorpe. Ball was tipped away. Callahan tried to grab it. Elder dove on it. I think she may have got hit in the mouth on there because I could see her kind of grabbing at the facial area. Johnson back in for Rivera. Have not seen Malia Melton. I believe Malia's got 2 fouls as well. Hoffman going to drive in, kick across. Kanza from downtown. That's going to be just off the mark, and Johnson tipped it away. Hoffman was going to get the offensive rebound, and Johnson went for it with the left hand. Jarrett with it now, going to dribble in and reset the offense. And we're going to get Carly Bell jumping into the passing lane. Carly's going to be called for a travel, and I'm not sure what just happened there. This official's having a little bit of trouble coming up. You can hear the Barry folks screaming for a foul because the game has become very physical. And the official down on the baseline just called a travel. Carly Bell was literally dribbling and shot a pull-up jumper, and she called a travel. Get a timeout on the floor. 7 minutes to go here in the second period. Oglethorpe with a 20-16 lead on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. We're back here on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. 6:59 to go here in the first half. Jarrett going to push that one across. Barry has yet to score here in the second period. That shot going to be off the mark. And they're going to call a loose ball foul on Briley Elder. Be the 3rd team foul. A lot of stretch of missed shots for both teams. Jarrett going to come up with a travel. Gaetano's closed out. Jarrett wanted to do the blow-by. Probably should have just dribbled first. Fortunately, she head faked and come up with a travel. Now she's going to sit down and play defense. Bell with it. She's going to drive across. Elder from downtown. There's another one. She is just on fire, being inserted into the starting lineup tonight, 23-16. I was talking beforehand to one of the Berry parents, and I said, you know, number 22, you got to watch her. She can really shoot it. And Briley is just on fire. Here's a three the other way for Berry, no good. Bell going to track down the rebound. Kanza going to push it. Gitanos driving in underneath the Johnson for the layup and good. 8-0 kick right now for Oglethorpe here to start the second period, and they've stormed out to a 25-16 lead. Really forcing Berry into the game that they want to play, causing turnovers, closing out on everything, and they do again. Johnson closes out. Elder now going to drive in, and they're going to call a jump ball scenario, and that ball's going to go Berry's way. Riley Elder with 12 points right now. Absolutely knocking down the three ball. 3 of 5 from downtown is Briley. 3 of 4 from the foul line. Really carrying the team is Rivera and Melton in foul trouble. Berry is yet to score here in the second period. 15 on the shot clock. And Kanza just going to rip that one away, and now we're going to get a foul on Callie Jackson. Kanza just reached in and said, give me that. Fourth team foul. Next one will be the bonus for both ball clubs. Excuse me. Fourth team foul on the Vikings, only 2 on the Stormy Petrels. So the next one for Oglethorpe will put them in the bonus and shoot free throws the rest of the way in this period. Gitanos with it underneath and throws that one into the first row. Just saw Mia Havica over in the corner and then just fired about a 78-mile-an-hour fastball over her head. That one ends up out of bounds. Gitanos pick it up in the backcourt. Her and Jaron Jarrett have been going at it during this game. A little friendly trash talk as well. 2 of these young women are really going to it. Callahan going to drive in, and she's going to have that one blocked, and Johnson took the worst of that. Well, they called the foul on Kanza on the reach. Johnson swatted that one out of here. Callahan's first free throw up, and that's going to rattle around and in. Ellie now with 5 on the night, tied with Sarah Wright for the team lead. Second one up, and that's going to be good as well, and it's 25-18. Elder going to sub in for Kanza. Tough to keep Riley off the floor right now. Took a quick breather. Backdoor cut, they worked that same action. Elder from downtown, and that, just off the back rim, and she had that one lined up perfectly as well. And Gitanos may have gotten away with a foul. The Berry faithful not happy at all. Callahan going to drive in, and that one's going to be up and good. She got that one right over Kat Johnson. Really good shot there by Ellie Callahan. And it's 25-20. Let's look and see if they run that same exact action, 3 plays in a row for Coach Ritchie. Havica going to drive down the lane, scoop that one up, and no good. And Elder not able to come up with the rebound. Callahan gets it, and the Vikings going to go the other direction. Havica got in there and just kind of lost control as she got there. They're going to get an offensive foul on Travis. Travis set the screen and then just kind of bullied Havica under the basket. This game is getting very chippy between these two rivals in the SAA. The refs are going to have to take control of this one here before too long. Again, same action, looking for Gitanos. Hoffman with it. She's going to try to dribble through traffic, dribble it off the foot. Havica had a 3, passed it up. Hoffman going to drive in. Elder, corner. She's got Hoffman wide open for a 3. That's going to be off the mark. 7 on the shot clock, did not hit rim. 4, 3. Gitanos going to see the clock, drive in, and knock in the jumper at the buzzer. You heard the horn go off, and just Gitanos. Johnny on the spot, did exactly what you needed to do, saw the shot clock, got in, got a good shot, and knocks it in for a 7-point Oglethorpe lead. going to be a 2-point shot off the mark, no good for Travis. Elder with it now going the other way. She's going to drive in again, and Jarrett going to be called for a foul, and that's going to be a couple of free throws for Briley Elder. Jarrett had really good defensive position and then reached in trying to get the steal. Catano's going to come out. Bell going to check back in. Elder 3 of 4 from the line right now. 4 of 5. I said when she shoots, I mean, that thing barely hits the rim. Elder on the year shooting 91% from the foul line. She was 10 of 11 coming in. She's now 4 of 5 on the game. 5 of 6 on the game. 29-20, the Stormy Petrels lead. High screen, elbow jumper off the mark, no good. Ball's rattled around and Callahan comes up with it. Number 35, Brooke Jones, in for the first time. She's coming up, setting screens. Jarrett from downtown. That's going to be off the back iron and no good. And we're going to get a foul called on number 21, Callie Jackson. She discarded Mia Havica, just shoved her under the rim. And Mia's going to go the other way and shoot a couple of free throws. (29-20) your score, 2:31 to go. Mia on the year, 80% from the foul line. She's 8 out of 10. First one up and good. Now 9 of 11 on the season from the foul line for Mia, who's playing a lot better. Second one good, and an 11-point lead for Oglethorpe. Much more comfortable this year for Mia. Played a lot as a freshman last year. This year, you can see she settled into a really good role. Defensive stopper, can absolutely shoot the 3 ball. Callahan with it underneath. Head fakes, going to go up and under, no good. Jones going to battle for it, and she's going to knock that one out of bounds. Kind of snatched the ball away from Elder, unable to corral that for the offensive rebound, and Oglethorpe going to go the other way. Oglethorpe right now is held buried to just 4 points here in the second period after giving up 16 in the first period. Bell from downtown. That's going to hit the front rim and no good. Johnson battles for it, cannot come up with it. Sarah Wright going to grab the long rebound and push it across the other way. Jarrett with it. She's going to drive in with the left, kick it back out. Jones now going to come to the corner and set a screen for Jarrett. Jarrett going to dribble across. 3 ball on the way. That's going to be off the front rim, no good. And rebounded by Johnson, who's now being double teamed underneath the basket, and they're going to get a jump ball, but that's going to go to Oglethorpe. I'll call a jump ball. Should be Oglethorpe basketball. That's what the possession arrow is pointing to, and that's exactly what we're going to get. We've got 1:34 to go here in the first half. Stormy Petrels with a 14-4 kick here in the second period, lead 31-20. Hope you guys are enjoying a very good Saturday afternoon of college basketball. Havica with it. Bell finds Elder, who's been on fire here in the first half. Kicks it in the corner to Bell. Head fake, 17-footer up. That's going to be short and no good. Rebounded by Jarrett. Barry going to go the other way. Callahan with a step-back 3, and that's string music. Ellie Callahan knocks in that 3 to cut the deficit to 8. Elder going to drive by. She's going to get whacked and fouled, and I hope she's okay. She immediately is reaching down. Looks like she's going to be okay. She immediately reached down, and she's kind of wincing in pain. I think she caught a knee potentially in the solar plexus, to quote the great Gordon Soley. For those of you that used to watch Florida Championship and NWA Wrestling, used to always talk about a punch to the solar plexus. Elder looked like she got the worst of that one. Free throw no good. You can Oglethorpe's here at the line, kind of trying to shake off whatever happened. Second free throw good. And we're going to get a timeout on the floor. 56 seconds to go here in the second period. Oglethorpe 32 and the Berry Vikings 23 on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. .56 seconds to go here in the first half. Oglethorpe leading 32-23. They've outscored Berry 15-7 here in the second period. Gaetano's going to pick up full court pressure, try to not allow Berry to get a 2-for-1 scenario here to close out the half. Berry over the foul limit. Oglethorpe is not. Callahan is really starting to have her way and misses that one short, and rebound by Kat Johnson. Hoffman going to push. Elder stutter steps. She's going to kick to the corner. Havica from downtown. That's going to be up and good. And I told you, Mia much more comfortable this year. Knocks into three and gives Oglethorpe a 12-point lead. Very, very solid shooter from downtown. Havica knocks that one in. Shot clock turned off, 17 seconds to go. Gaetanos and Jarrett, who have been going at it here in the first half. Gaetano's guarding her, and they're going to call it. She's going to take a foul. That's the take foul. 8.6 to go. Did not allow Jarrett to get going downhill. They're going to make Berry take the ball out of bounds. Do not want to foul. Jumper from Jarrett up and good. Really nice shot by Jaron Jarrett. And that's going to end the first half. 35-25 your score. Oglethorpe with an 18. Teachers lost 71-68 to Brevard at home last week. Perry Robinson, my goodness, 28 points and 8 rebounds. Uba Zigbo had 15 and Jackson Kemp a season high 11. Oglethorpe in the SAA opener today at 6 o'clock. Get you caught up on what's happening with track and field, but we're underway here in the second half. We're going to get a travel right away out of Sarah Wright. Good defense from Briley Elder. Sat down on the defensive side of the play, and Wright dragged the feet. Rivera now out on the wing. Melton with the ball, going to drive in. Kick to Elder. She head fakes. Kicks back to Melton. Melton going to go baseline. Kick it to the corner, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Malia, and that's going to be her third. I'll see if Coach Ritchie leaves her in, and he's going to. Jarrett going to dribble the ball across, and they are going to call a foul. Hoffman got in the way. Very faithful, as you can probably hear to my side. Normally I am on the side with all the opposing fans. Very loud. Love their program. Love their kids. You can completely understand that. 35-25 the score. Jump shot going to be taken, and that's going to be up and good. Lauren Elder knocks that one in. That was Kennedy Lee. Cuts the lead to 8. Rivera has a mismatch. She's got to get her the ball down where she belongs on the post. Havica missed her. Elder going to head fake and drive in. Have that one knocked away. Hoffman with it. Little pull-up jumper from about 7 feet and knocks it in. Elder had that one knocked away, and Hoffman right where you need to be. Under control, pull-up jumper, and the lead's back to 10. And it's getting physical out there. Havica going to be called for a foul on Kennedy Lee. lot of people getting on the officiating right now, as this one's getting physical. Men's game probably going to be a lot more of the same. Head coach Thomas Johnson, very dapperly dressed, got the suit on. Lee with the ball in the corner. Melton cannot pick up another foul. Lee dribbles in, might have got away with a double dribble. Rivera plays really good defense on Gearing, comes up with the rebound as well, her 6th of the contest. And Oglethorpe going to push the other way. Melton going to go baseline, kick it in the corner. Elder wide open from downtown, and that one just off the mark. I think she was too open on that one. Riley now 3 of 7 from downtown. Hoffman digging in on defense. 3 ball on the way, and that's going to be up and good. Ellie Gearing, too much space. Rivera wanted to run out and kind of stood there, hands up. Gearing double, triple pumped, and they're going to call a foul on Gearing. I'm not going to disagree with a lot of the Barry people right now. This officiating is struggle city. Struggle city is what we've got right now. A lot of questionable calls both ways. Hoffman with it. Going to dribble in, kick it back to Elder. Elder, she's going to get called for traveling. And she did. Kind of had the feet crossed, did not get them both down. 37-30 your score. Havica digging in on defense. Gearing going to go across. Missed that one, and Callahan, it'll be called an assist in the playbook, but that was an air ball that went right to Callahan, and she kicks it in, and it's now a 5-point deficit, closest Barry has been since the first period. They're going to go right down to Rivera, and they're going to call a jump ball, and that's going to be possession arrow to Oglethorpe. Gatanos, Kanza going to check in for Hoffman and Havica. Gatanos has been a spark. Kind of dribbled in the corner. Elder going to take it back up top. They are doubling Rivera. Kanza's going to have that one knocked away. Knocked away by Jaron Jarrett. Gatanos going to get it inbounds. Have that one knocked away. Rivera had it knocked away, and Gatanos gets knocked over. No call. Barry coming the other way. That ball's going to be blocked from behind, and they're going to call a foul on Gatanos. She got all ball. And that's going to be 3 free throws for Kennedy Lee, and a chance to cut this down to 2 if she's able to make all 3 of these free throws. Gatanos lined it up. May have caught her with the hip. First one up and good. Second one up and good. Barry, 9-2 kick. They only scored 9 points in the second period. Then they've got a 9-2 kick here to start the third. Make that 10-2. Coach Ritchie not going to call a timeout. Gatanos being hounded in the backcourt by Wright. She's going to drive in, go right at Jarrett and lay it up, and it rolls off the rim. How that did not go in. Elder comes up with it. Shot clock back to 20. Gatanos going to get a 3-ball, no good. Rivera, and they're going to get a traveling violation. Rebound was taken by Wright, fell to the ground, and then slid. Lid is on the basket right now for Oglethorpe. Reset the shot clock to 30. They get it underneath to Rivera, who gets fouled by Callahan. Really good entry pass from out of bounds, getting it right to Kamaria Rivera. If you're watching at home, SEC championship game, Alabama has taken the lead 10-7 over Georgia. Rivera's first free throw, no good. That game in the second quarter down at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. We got a tight one here. We got the officials arguing with the head coach over here, Thomas Johnson. The game has been stopped for no reason. Coach Ritchie's going, what are we doing? We need to play. This official on the back line, she's having a conversation. Rivera's free throw is good. It's a 3-point lead. Bell going to sub in for Elder. A little defense, offense, and Oglethorpe's going to pick up in the back court. 38-35, 6:18 to go here in the third period. Barry has stormed out. 10-3 kick to start the second half. Ball movement much better for them. Shooting percentage much better. 3 ball on the way, and that's going to be good. Ellie Callahan caught that one in stride and knocks it in, and we're now tied at 38 apiece. Cons are going to have it on the wing, looking under to Rivera, and that one's going to be knocked away. And Barry is double and triple teaming Kamaria. Other ladies on the floor are going to have to take advantage of that as they double down off them, look to kick opposite, skip pass from time to time, dribble drive, and then kick to open shooters. They're going to have to settle in defensively right now as Barry has found a rhythm here in the second half. Rivera going to play post defense underneath. Jarrett going to drive in with the left hand, kick that one back out. That 3 is on the way. Off the back rim, no good. Gaetano skies in from her point guard position to get that one. She's being hounded in the back court. Havica going to give her some relief, and they'll set the offense with 23 here on the shot clock. Bell with it. Melton now at the head of the key. Kicks it to Rivera, and they're going to call a foul. It's going to be the 4th team foul, reach-in foul on Lee. Lee has 3. Gearing has 3. Callahan has 3. We'll take a timeout with them. Timeout on the floor. We're tied at 38. 4:59 to go here in the third period on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. (38-38). Carly Bell going to inbound from underneath. 4:59 to go here in the third period. Barry has stormed back from a 10-point halftime deficit, outscored Oglethorpe 13-3 here in the third period. Ball inbounded, tipped away, and stolen. Ellie Gearing going the other way. 3 ball going the way. That's going to be off the mark and no good. It's going to be rebound out of bounds, staying to Blue. Lee had an open 3. Carly Armstrong going to sub in now for Jaron Jarrett. Back in as Hoffman and Elder. Melton and Gaetano's going to check out. And that rebound taken by Elder. Callahan blew by her and blew the layup. And then Elder able to come up with the rebound, and Hoffman going to set the offense with 23 to go here on the shot clock. They are trying hard to get the ball to Rivera. And we're going to get a foul called on Ellie Gearing, and that's going to be the 5th for Barry. They're Going to get shots for Camaria Rivera. Camaria on the year shooting just 62% from the foul line. She'd like to get that closer to 70, the ability to do so. First free throw up and good. A lot of angry Barry fans. Second free throw for Rivera. That one's going to be up and good as well. It's like we like to say, ball don't lie. She knocks in both of those, and it's 40-38. Screen taken there, Wright had a jumper. Callahan going to dribble in, have that one raked away. Good closeout by Havica. Great job there by Mia Havica. Closed out on the three-point shooter when we got the switch with Elder, able to dive back into the play and knock that one away. Armstrong going to inbound from underneath. Callahan going to kind of power dribble down in, and that turnaround jumper's up and good. Callahan's got a physical mismatch when Briley Elder gets caught on the switch. Elder has not taken a shot, or she's taken one here in the second half. Hoffman going to drive in, look underneath to Rivera, back out top. Elder swings it around. Havica with a three ball, and that one rattles in and out. Bell comes up with a rebound, thought she got fouled, did not. And the shot clock at 15. Hoffman from downtown. That one's going to be off the mark and no good, and they're going to get a loose ball foul on Camaria Rivera. That'll be the fifth team foul for Oglethorpe, and Callahan going to go the other way. Johnson going to sub in for Rivera. Offense is kind of grinded to a halt for Oglethorpe. Good job by Barry. They've held them to 5 points here in the third period. Have a chance to take their first lead since the first period. First free throw up and no good. 40-40 your score. 3:27 to go here in the third period. 15-5 kick for the Vikings. Second free throw good. And Barry going to come with a little full court press. And they're going to get the turnover. Carly Armstrong knocked the ball away from Carly Bell. Kanza going to sub in for Bell. And it's 41-40. Ball going to go in immediately to Callahan, who's going to drive and kick. Three ball on the way, and that one's going to be up and good. Kennedy Lee got the good pass, and the biggest lead since 8-4 early on in the game for Barry. It is now 44-40. Be interesting to see where Oglethorpe finds offense with Rivera out and Melton out. Hoffman is going to get fouled, and she'll get rewarded with free throws. Barry 19-5 here in the third period. Barry now up to 35% from the floor. Oglethorpe down to just 38%. Barry's actually out 3'd them 6-5. Hoffman's free throw up and good. Second one pure. And it's 44-42. Hoffman going to check out after making those two free throws, and Bell going to check back in. And it's 44-42 in favor of the Vikings. Gatanos in as well. Kanza in. Callahan is out, so they're going to go to Kennedy Lee. And that's going to be shots. Both teams over the limit. Havica with the foul. Callahan with 19 to lead the way. Elder has 15 but has not scored here in the second half. First free throw up, and that's going to be good. And a 3-point lead right now for Barry. Second free throw up and good as well. 46-42, Barry has taken the lead. Havica gets it inbounds to Kanza. Barry with a little token man-to-man pressure, slowing down Oglethorpe's offense, which has grinded to a halt here in the third period. It was free-flowing in the first period. Elder from downtown, and she banks it in. Knocks in the three from the corner. I don't know that she called glass, but it counts either way. And it's 46-45. Timeout on the floor with 2:32 to go here on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. .232 to go in the third period. Oglethorpe Sports Network, John Michaels on the call. Oglethorpe just got a banked-in three from Briley Elder. Cut the lead to 1. First three they've made here in the third period, and now they're going to go to a 2-2-1 zone pressure, which Coach Ritchie likes to implore from time to time, really just to get Barry to slow down on their offense. And for the first time, no, they're not going to go. They're going to call a reach-in foul. What are they calling the foul on here? I would assume on Kanza. Said number 1. Free throw up and good for Armstrong. It's 47-45. Who was the foul on? And the referees, of course, have to have a 11. There we go. We got it right. There was no 1 on the floor for either squad. Officials have to figure out who it's on. They're just quick to blow a whistle. Second free throw up and good. It's 48-45. Havica going to get it inbounds to Elder. He's going to bring it across. Kick it in the corner to Hoffman. Kanza with the ball, being hounded up top. Underneath to Johnson. Cat going to look cross corner. Hoffman, and they're going to call a travel, and that is not a travel. That's a Euro step. I'm not sure these officials understand the rules of basketball. I may get in trouble for saying that, but I have seen some really bad calls both ways. It's turned into a free throw contest here in the third period as both teams have been over the limit for about 4 minutes apiece. Kanza up top guarding right. Hoffman pawing at the ball. The ball's going to be knocked away by Elder, and Kanza comes up with it and goes the other way. Johnson almost got in the way. Been a rough day with Melton and Rivera both in foul trouble. And they're going to get a travel on Havica. This has turned into really sloppy basketball on both sides. Hoffman not happy at all. Armstrong walking it into the front over to Kennedy Lee. Lee going to drive in, kick it cross. They're going to look at Johnson, goes up in the air, and then the layup missed by Ava Travis. Went left hand, and Johnson may have altered that shot. Elder going to drive in, kick it across to Havica, back to Kanza, 3-ball on the way, no good off the back iron. Rebound taken by Armstrong. Oglethorpe has gone ice cold. Ball going to be stripped away and then rolled forward and Lee comes up with it. 42 to go here in a ragged third period. Lee going to get it. She traveled. Saw Kat Johnson at about 6'3" coming across. Gaetano's going to actually, Johnson 6'4", as she came across, deterred the shot, but it's been 23-10 here in the third period in favor of Barry. All the momentum on their side. Elder looks like she might be cramping in the corner. She was reaching down, doing some stretching. 24 to go. Backdoor cut, and that ball's turned over. Bad pass from Carly Bell and stolen by Sarah Wright. Don't want to foul here. 11 seconds left. Barry going to try to dribble this one out and take the last shot. 3 on the shot clock. 2, 1. And that ball's going to be no good. Johnson deterred the shot. And we're going to head to the fourth period. Barry storms back to take the lead. It's 48-45, 10 minutes to go on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. Start of the fourth period here on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. Checking back in, Malia Melton and Camaria Rivera for your Stormy Petrels. They're now down 48-45. Looks like they're going to start in a 2-3 zone. Barry going to get the ball right to the foul line, kick it to the corner. Lee with it. Has that one poked away by Bell. Picked up by Armstrong. Underneath, Lee with an open three. And that was going to be no good off the back iron. And Melton just skied in and snatched that one away for a big rebound for Oglethorpe. And Gaetano's now going to start the offense the other way. Interesting to see if they can find a way to get Camaria Rivera the ball. Barry doing whatever they can to double and triple team her, and that's exactly what they're doing. And that ball is going to be stripped and stolen and go the other way. And the layup up and good with the left hand for Carly Armstrong. Oglethorpe really struggling initiating offense here in the second half. Rivera sitting really at the high post area. Havica almost had that one ripped. Melton gets clobbered going by. I think we're going to get 2 free throws out of this. Two free throws coming for Malia Melton. Briley Elder going to check back in. Comes in for Bell. Briley leading the way with 18. Rivera only 7. Melton been in a lot of foul trouble. First free throw up and good. Needed that one to cut it down to 4. Rivera going to get out from under and go back. And Ellie Callahan going to check back in after a nice blow. Free throw no good. Rebound taken by Ava Travis. Immediately Oglethorpe going back to this 2-2-1 pressure. Barry gets it across. They want to trap this in any of the corners. Travis, and they're going to call a travel, lost her footing. Rivera did a good job sliding the feet. Hoffman back in. (50-46) with 8:40 to go. Rivera with the ball, going to drive in with the left hand and miss the layup, and that's something Camaria doesn't normally do. Rebound taken and coming back across is going to be Armstrong. Excuse me, it's going to be Lee. And they're going to get a timeout on the floor. We'll take one with them. We'll be back after this. 50-46 with 8:24 to go in the game here on the Oglethorpe Sports Network.
Thanks you for your support of the Atlanta Mission. Tonight's fifth raffle winner is Miss Eileen White. Eileen White, please come to the promotions table located behind the concession stand to claim your prize. Again, that's Miss Eileen White. Please come to the promotions table to claim your prize. Congratulations.
$8:24 to go here on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. It is 50-46 is your score. Neither team had any foul trouble here in the fourth period. Vikings have 1 foul, Stormy Petrels none. Ellie Callahan with 19, Kennedy Lee with 12, Elder with 18 to pace the Stormy Petrels. Camario Rivera only 7. Lee with a 3 ball. That's going to be off the mark, off the front of the rim, and Rivera skies in for the rebound. And Oglethorpe going to go the other way. Barry does a good job getting back, cutting off the break. Elder has it go right off the chest of Havica, and a coast-to-coast layup up and good for Lee. Just a short pass that Havica unfortunately had go off of her chest, could not corral the catch, and now it's a 6-point lead. Biggest lead that Barry has had all game is 6. Melton going to drive in, no good. Grab her own rebound, and then she falls down on top. I can't see who she fell on top of. And it looks like Lee took the worst of that. I think that's the 4th on Melton. Kanza going to come in. And what was a free-flowing, fun first half in which he scored 35 points. Oglethorpe just has 11 points so far here in the second half. Got to find a way to get Camario Rivera untracked. And they're going to be backcourt, and we're going to get a jump ball scenario. Great job by Allison Hoffman reaching in there, knocking that one away and coming up with a steal. Elder's been quiet in the second half. Rivera's been quiet in the second half. Costly turnover so far for Oglethorpe. They're going to go right down to Camaria. She's going to drive right in and miss the layup. Second one up, blocked. Now you get Elder for 3. That one rims out. This rim is just closed underneath, and then Hoffman adds insult to injury with a foul in the backcourt. Rivera had a point-blank layup that she never misses, and then Elder has it go 4/5 of the way down and rim out. Oglethorpe staying in this 2-2-1 pressure. Gearing did a good job getting it across. 52-46. Jumper up, no good, no foul called. Elder with it, running the other way. Briley puts it up on the rim and in. Sometimes better lucky than good. Elder got a full head of steam and laid that one up off the window and got whacked in the process, and has a chance for a 3-point play here. Huge shot there for Briley Elder. 52-48. Free throw good, hits nothing but net, and now it's cut to 3. Oglethorpe needs to dig in defensively. 2-2-1 makes them take about 9 seconds to get into their offense. Kanza with a good closeout. Havica pokes it away and comes up with a steal, and they call no foul. She gets tackled in the backcourt, and there's no foul called. Referees who have been whistle happy the whole game Now don't want to call it. 3 on the way for Jarrett. No good. Rebounded by Kanza, and that one's poked away and out of bounds off of Barry. Suddenly these 3 officials who have blown the whistle 75 times here in the game didn't want to call one. Havica got the steal and got tackled in the backcourt, and nothing called. 52-49 with 6:33 to go. Kamario Rivera not only has to be the best player on the floor, now has to clean up the floor. 4-4 here in the 4th period. Briley Elder leading the way with 21. The freshman out of Swanee having an unbelievable game. 3-point shot's been really good. Her scoring is much needed in a day where your normal leaders have not played their best basketball. Hoffman going to get it across to Havica, and Havica going to set the offense with 6:28 to go. Hoffman, crossover, Kanza back to Elder, underneath to Rivera, jump hook up and no good. Oh, and we hope they're all okay. What did they call? I'm not even sure what they called. I think they're going to call a travel in the backcourt. Hoffman with it. 6:10 to go. Oglethorpe has just got to find a way to get the offense on track. It's really been Briley Elder and nobody else. Oglethorpe watching Barry double Elder from downtown. That 3 going to be off the mark, no good. And a great rebound there by Gearing, who skied over Rivera. Havica gets the steal and then gets hit in the face. This officiating has left a lot to be desired on both sides. We have angry parents over here. We have angry coaches for Oglethorpe. You got young women that got, just getting hammered. And not a lot of consistency on the calls. Oglethorpe back to man-to-man. Actually, no, they're going to stay in this 2-3 zone. Just slowed down Barry. And that layup going to be up and good. Gearing went back door. Kanza just missed the steal. And they're going to get an offensive foul. Callahan stepped in front. Hoffman a little bit out of control. And I think the officiating has really taken the momentum of either team out of the way. Gatanos and Melton going to check in. And they're going to go man-to-man pressure. Jarrett going to bring it across. 5:13 to go in a 5-point ball game. Conference opener for both. 3 ball on the way, and that one's off the back rim and no good. And Gatanos comes up with a, and then, my goodness, we have got bodies flying all over the floor. We're going to get a reach-in foul in the back on number 12, Sarah Wright. It's turned into dodgeball and battle ball all in one. (54-49), 4:57 to go here in the ball game. Gatanos going to bring it across. Almost lost it. Melton with it. Swing it around to Elder. Elder going to head fake, drive in. She's going to have the ball knocked away and out of bounds. Oglethorpe just in a rush. Barry has locked in defensively here in the second half and done a really good job. Probably got away with, I don't even want to say anything anymore. The officiating has got me a little bit upset here in the broadcast position. 3 ball on the way for Jarrett. That one's going to be off the mark and no good. 54-49, I feel like we've been at this pace for about 20 minutes of basketball. Not really well played here in the second half for either ball club. Barry's done enough to come back and take the lead. 4:23 to go. Got to find a way to get some offensive rhythm going. Gaetano's going to make a bad pass across court. Kanza has it stolen. Callahan's got it now. She's going to look underneath the Gearing. And they're going to – Gaetano's got a clean strip, and they're going to call a foul. And Gearing's going to go to the line for a couple of free throws. (54-49). Oglethorpe has 14 second half points. The offense has just completely gone away. Oglethorpe mascot under the rim in a little bit of trouble. And the free throw up and no good. Athletic director Todd Brooks said, you cannot do that behind the basket. It's actually illegal. Second free throw, no good, and they're going to call a lane violation on Malia Melton. She stepped in, and Gearing will get a third free throw, and with points at a premium, everything is now huge. Free throw up and no good. And then the rebound comes off to Kennedy Lee. Just a long missed free throw. Gotta corral those. Do not foul because you're now in the bonus. Wright gonna take it down. Get a screen. Jarrett three ball on the way, and that one's gonna be off the front rim and no good. And Melton comes up with a rebound. It looked like she got pushed from behind and no call. Hoffman now gonna come the other way. Kanza with it. Melton now going to get the ball to Rivera. Rivera going to face up, drive in, layup and good. Kamaria Rivera. That's the first time she took her time, faced up and said, there's nobody in this conference that can guard me. Got a layup to cut it to three. And a steal from behind from Kanza. Great defense. Hoffman going the other way. Hoffman probably had one more dribble in her, or should have reset the offense, took kind of a running floater at the foul line that was no good, and Barry will go the other way. Take a timeout on the floor. We got 3:04 to go. Oglethorpe trailing 54-51 on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. Three minutes ago here on the Oglethorpe Sports Network. 54-51 the score. Barry in the lead. Oglethorpe over the limit. Barry with 3 fouls. Shot going to be taken off the rim. No good. Rebounded by Mia Havica. 2:46 to go. Hoffman going to bring it across. And loses the ball at half court. And going the other way is going to be Jarrett, who lays it up and in. Hoffman just dribbled it off of herself. To steal the other way, and it's now a 5-point game. Hoffman being hounded up top. Melton looking under for Rivera. They find Rivera. She faces up again. Hoffman had an open three, steps in for a 2 and knocks it down. 56-53 with 2 minutes to go. Oglethorpe over the limit, needs a stop. Jarrett with the ball, being hounded up around the three-point line. Do not want to foul. Got to play solid on defense without fouling. 5 on the shot clock. Jarrett with a 3, and that's a backbreaker. 3 as the shot clock goes in to give Barry a 6-point lead. 1:31 to go. Oglethorpe's going to have to come up with something quick here. Havica with it up top. She's going to drive in, look underneath for Rivera. Rivera going to spin back with the left. and lay that one up and in, and it's a 4-point game, and Alex Ritchie going to call a timeout. Timeout on the floor, 59-55 with 1:16 to go. Remember, there is a 30-second shot clock here. You want to play solid defense. You do not want to foul because you're in the bonus unless you can find somebody on the Barry squad that is not a great free throw shooter. If you can find that, then you maybe want to foul. But outside of that, you play solid defense. You lock in and do whatever you can. Don't want to foul Lee, shoots 89%. Don't want to foul Callahan, shoots 91%. Wright at 60%. Armstrong at 75%. Gearing only at 35%. Jarrett at 75%. So team that shoots 75 for the year, got to be careful with who you choose to foul. 28 seconds on the shot clock, 1:12 to go. Barry going to hold for as long as they can. Rivera tries to go, and that one's up and good for Wright. 56 seconds to go. Elder going to get a 3 up. That one's going to be off the front rim and no good. Rebounded by Jarrett, and now you got a foul. And they're going to take the foul in the backcourt as Kanza. 61-55. Stormy Petrels just 20 points. They've been outscored 36-20 in the second half after having a 10-point halftime lead. 2 shots in the women's game. There is no 1-and-1. First free throw up and good, and it's now a 3-possession game. Barry is stormed back, led by Ellie Callahan with 19 and Kennedy Lee with 14. Jarrett with 11, hit the dagger 3. Free throw no good. 62-55. Bell with it. She's going to have to push. Jarrett doing a good job in the backcourt playing defense. 30 seconds left. You got to go. Gatanos taking a long time up at the top. Drives in. Kanza had a 3. Gatanos with a 3. That one's going to be no good. Rebound taken. And we're going to get a foul in the backcourt. Gearing going to go to the other end and shoot free throws. And that might be the end for Oglethorpe. Coach Ritchie not going to be happy. SAA opener, a very winnable game. Second half, the offense just kind of grinded to a halt. Could not get the 3 ball to go. Could not get Rivera untracked. Free throw up and good. It's 63-55. Remember, in between games, we'll have about 25 minutes. We'll come back after that. Get ready for the men's game. Free throw no good, 63-55. Gatanos bringing it across. We've only got 18 seconds left. Jess going to drive in. Bell with it. Kanza head fakes. She's going to look underneath to Rivera, who lays it up and in. It's a 6-point game with only 10 seconds left. They're going to foul again, and Jarrett will go the other way. For those watching at home or not watching at home, Georgia losing 17-7 right now in the SEC championship game. That game's at halftime. Alabama win is really going to muddy the waters for the College Football Playoff Committee. Texas already won today. They have a 10-point win at Alabama. Free throw up and no good. Coach Ritchie screaming on the rebound. Rebound, and it's rebound and taken by Gearing, and that's going to be the end. They're going to call a foul on Gatanos. 4.3 to go. They were going to call a timeout on the rebound and advance it to half court. Did not do that, didn't corral the rebound. And Barry's going to walk out of here and end their 2-game winning streak, or 2-game losing streak, excuse me. They're going to improve to 3-4 on the year. Stormy Petrel's going to fall to 5-3, but 0-1 in SAA play. Really good effort today. Barry, got to give him credit, came back in the second half. 65-57. They outscored Oglethorpe by 18 in the second half. Rivera with a long jumper. It's going to be up and no good. And that's going to be the end of the contest. 63, or excuse me.